Hey everybody, clearing. So I was yammering along with a beautiful long-winded introductory message talking about how I'm about to use a brand new oracle deck that I just got at my painting retreat that I attended by Autumn Sky. She is a visionary artist and gifted teacher. I'm using her oracle deck for today's reading. And I also went into showing the painting that I did at the retreat, which is called Family Tree. This is the ancestors, the eclipse we just had, the transformation, and the next generations, the legacy on the planet in alignment with the history and the new brave becoming, the freedom, bluebird of happiness here. So I was mentioning if you might want a poster or a canvas print, if that seems like something you'd be interested in of that, I am considering making a batch of those for people if you have interest. So let me know. I might put a poll to see if people would prefer prints or canvas prints or posters. However, I did start also pulling the cards. I've got a whole list of beautiful meeting point topics. They are intimacy, the patterns that we're releasing, self-sabotage that each counterpart might still accidentally, inadvertently be playing out, things revolving around the theme of trust, manifestation, fears, truths, and growth going forward. So I did already pull the intimacy cards and we got authenticity. So this one, release self-doubt, embrace challenges, embody your uniqueness. You are perfect as you are. Self-love, radical self-acceptance. Choose your own path. Have courage. So authenticity, I pulled a supporting card and we got union. We cannot have union with another if we are not aware of who we really are. We cannot by default connect in an unadulterated way with anyone if we don't know who we are and how we are showing up to connect, what we prefer. When we have removed all of the things that are not the core of love, we cannot meet another in that core of love if we have not refined as such. So this is about releasing doubt and just completely going into the love of your uniqueness, yourself. Embrace your challenges because they're teaching you who you are. They are exemplifying your character. We see who we really are in the face of adversity. You are perfect as you are. Choose your own path. Right before I realized that I hadn't been recording, I shared that my dear person said these words, if it's good for you, it's good for me. I have never been told that in my life. And what a beautiful gift to be able to, not to have to concern ourselves overly with what's going on for another, but to really just bring the focus back to what is good for me? What does work for me? What would that be? How would I know? And that is through authenticity and honor of self. That is love. That is so loving. So let's see how the feminines are experiencing this. Okay, investment. This is the spaciousness, the waiting. This is a gardening card that talks about waiting for fruition, waiting to see what will become. Investing in self, in our authenticity, trial and error, practicing what we preach. This is the embodiment and watching to see how our reality reflects back to us. Different experiences when we invest in our authenticity. So if that rings a bell, feminines, dive into that exploration of what happens when you show up your true self in the world. How are the masculines experiencing this? 5 of Wands, right. You are seeing what is ego, the things that you have aligned with, friends, partners, family beliefs, jobs, things that weren't authentic to you were laden with strife, I just heard. When we're in alignment, we have harmony, we have cooperation. But anything that has felt like a struggle, masculines, has not been authentic to you on those core levels. Those are temporary things at best. But when we say yes to things that end up with obvious resistance, frustration, incompatibility, that's because it hasn't been authentic to us. It might have been us people-pleasing, trying to live up to expectations, trying to put other people's wisdom first and not trust our own heart. So the masculines are experiencing this upheaval and release of things that have been misaligned. And feminines, you're in sort of an objective observation of what alignment looks like in contrast to when you've been in times of uncertainty or mistrust of who you are. So both are in their own way. Feminines seem to be more analytical meditation, and masculines seem to be more damage control and cleanup and permission to say enough is enough and walk away from certain things right now. But this is allowing for deepening intimacy and union, because when we clear that clutter that is not us, we are able to have the freedom and spaciousness in our life that allows for us to truly meet everything that shows up in our reality with authenticity. So yeah, that's coming in for everybody. And of course, it lends itself to these unions and the deepening kundalini with the serpent here that rises when we are able to truly meet and see other in true connection. Beautiful. Okay, let's see the patterns that are being released. What can we know here? Integration. Release worries. So we're releasing literally here the things that promote worry, strife, anxiety, imbalance. Commit to your well-being. So we're releasing karmic patterns that don't put our well-being first. Be patient with yourself about that, everybody. You are growing, you are blessed. So you are experiencing this opportunity to promote your well-being. What is good for you? Counterparts. Tower. So there are some major revelations coming in about integrating the release of worry, the release of things that don't promote our well-being, things that put us in harm's way. We're seeing instantaneously, overnight, epiphanies of what has not been good for us and the source of those incongruent energies. It's like the light bulb moment about what has really been draining us and what we thought we needed to face head on. We no longer need to be so strong, so stubborn, so adamant about certain things, the injustices. We can go in a different direction and invest in the things that are authentic for us. If it's not a fit, remove yourself. I just saw 911, emergency status, tower status. If it is creating a lack of well-being in your life, the fruits of it are not promoting your well-being, remove yourself. Everyone. Clear, beautiful message. How is that happening for the feminine? Inner child healing. So you can do this in a time travel way, feminines. You can go back into memories where your well-being was not afforded, where you learned to not put your well-being first, or where you learned you weren't safe to have well-being. There's a deep level of trauma healing on the planet where we're allowed to be so selfish as to care if we feel good or not. Hello, what a revolutionary idea that we're allowed to choose health. We're allowed to choose balance. We're allowed to look out for ourselves. We're allowed to advocate for our own well-being. We are allowed to come into the maturity that says, I can have well-being on excellent levels, not just, I heard the analogy, don't jaywalk. That's not possibly good for us. We could get hit by a car. All the way to make decisions that are truly supportive, down to the finest subtleties. Celebrate the past, but just know that this is your time to put your well-being first. Beautiful. This is your integration. This is the healing. This is the reparenting. This is reclaiming your power. This is putting down your roots, being supported by what has happened, but not stuck in those traumas. It hasn't been perfect. You have had human experiences, 1111. And now, because you are capable, you are whole, you are worthy, you can continue to only say yes to the things that include your well-being going forward. Whereas in the past, you were maybe at the mercy of certain experiences. And now that you know better, you can do better. Masculines. Okay, the wheel. So this is on a really big level. We got journey work and inner child healing for the feminines, but we got this cosmic energy for the masculines where you felt victimized by the fates. I've even heard here, the wheels of fate, the circumstances, the fated life. Masculines, that belief that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, or that nothing will change, or that human nature won't change, or that this is your lot in life, or that you were dealt a bum hand, whatever it may be. Masculines, this is your time to radically challenge that belief and let go of the wheel of karma. This is being at the mercy of the wheel of karma. The wheel of fortune in the upright is miracles, abundance, lucky streaks, lucky breaks, momentum, manifesting the reality you desire to experience rather than the one you feel you are at the mercy of. And so when you put your well-being as a priority, you no longer assume that things are happening to you. You then can take your manifestation in your own hands and actively choose. In the blink of an eye, you can see other options. Beautiful. What can we see for anything? Well, this does translate perfect segue into the self-sabotage. So where are the counterparts letting themselves down or reverse manifesting, getting results they're not wishing to see? Contemplation. Practice mindfulness. So self-sabotage happens when we're in unconsciousness, when we've got operating programs going under the surface that don't align with our well-being, assumptions, when we're not conscious of choice. Don't jump to conclusions, okay? So that is when we filter things through fear or through stereotypical lens or past experiences, when we're safeguarding for fear of what could happen in the future. So don't jump to conclusions. Be openly curious, because if we assume or jump to conclusions, we don't manifest our highest potential. We manifest our assumed result. You are part of the infinite whole. That means there is infinite possibility and there is access to love. Love is the only infinite energy. Allow things to shift naturally. So if you have found that you have gotten results that you didn't desire, tell yourself first and foremost, you can have. different results. And then seek to watch how bloop, 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 the pathway to those different results begins to illuminate before you. It is a matter of belief that you can experience something different than you have or will or are, that allows for the potential for that newness to come in. Listen to your intuition. So, with self-sabotage, that also is where we negate our own intuition and we carpet sweep or say, oh yeah, probably it's going to be okay. Even when our intuition is telling us there's something off, but we do it anyway. Or when we say no to things that our intuition is telling us are good for our well-being. Beautiful. What can we see for the feminines regarding self-sabotage or playing small, selling ourselves? Higher love, the lovers. So you know what makes your heart sing, what you are worth, what you are having whispered to you on your heart. Follow your heart. It knows the way. Bit by bit, choice by choice, intuition by intuition. Be alert, feminines. It's all there for you. If you have the intention to find that authentic thing inside of you, you will never be led astray. Your heart knows. What about the masculines? The Nine of Cups in the inverse. So this is the gluttony, the greed, the lack that causes us to hoard people, places, and things. So masculines, self-sabotage is you settling for what you can get rather than what you're worth. Ooh! Masculines, so when you're settling for the easy way, the low-hanging fruit, the lazy energy, or AKA what's just in front of you, instead of putting the effort in, I'm hearing great love is worth making the steps you're guided to make. You can have your wish fulfillment, your highest desires, your most beautiful life of well-being. But you need to stop looking at what just seems to be available to you and dare to dream bigger. Don't jump to the conclusion that what is before you is all that's available. Don't limit what is possible based on the past. Really look at infinite possibilities and ask yourself, what would you like to experience? Not just simply what you think you're only going to be able to experience. Big messages for the masculines here. Okay, trust, the theme of trust. We get this beautiful divine masculine painting. Stay strong. So strength. Be steadfast in your heart, in your truth. There is power in tenderness. So admit to yourself what you authentically know rather than what you think. Stay strong. That means supple. That means soft in your heart with your truth. Hold space for healing and growth. So if you're not there yet, allow the room to be en route. Allow the room to be a work in progress. But stay focused on what you actually desire, not the things that tell you you can't have, that are lack, that are competitive, that are lower vibrational, that are suffering. Be a safe haven for others in need. So have compassion. Stand for what you believe in. Don't settle. Don't turn a blind eye. Be willing to yield and adapt and stay strong. So that is with trust. Stay the course, everybody. How are the feminines experiencing this? The Ace of Swords is the truth here. And so if at first you don't succeed, try again, feminines. Drop deep in your heart for your truth. Allow space for the becoming. Stand for what you believe in, but be willing to yield and adapt. You are not an island. You don't know all the answers. And when you allow opinions to come in as part of the whole, but you don't defer to them as the entire whole, but you consider others. It's not about you just being your own force to be reckoned with. These lightning bolts represent other energies that can contribute value. First and foremost, your heart knows, but also consider, support, allow others in, allow the opinions of others to complement yours, but don't defer to what others think or say. And masculines, Page of Swords, open curiosity. So trust. The net will be provided if you jump. The answers will be given if you ask. Stay open, stay curious. Be brave, go forward. This is communication. The swords are communication. Page of Swords, that is a messenger. Feminines, you've got communication coming in from your masculine. Masculines are opening up. They are becoming brave and strong. They are yielding and adapting to be more communicative. There's more trust coming in these connections. Trust that it will come in due time, feminines. And masculines, trust that if you stay focused on what you want here, not what you think you can have or not. Trust, see where it goes, stay open, communicate. There is a opening of the communication, the throat chakra with all this blue. So communication is forming behind the scenes. And this is going to promote strength in the connections. What can we see for manifestation? Oh, the bee. Kindness. Live with integrity. Be fiercely tender. Listen to your inner child. Protect what you cherish. It's okay to care deeply. Let this incredible heart for kindness and integrity, tenderness, rawness, truth, your inner child to speak. The things you care the most about. Cultivate the protection of that. It's not only not a trick for those things to be awoken in you, the remembrance of them. Often on this journey, we remember our core things that we've suppressed for a long time. That aspect of us that is truly our authentic self comes to light. And this is how to manifest your highest timelines, your deepest desires. It's getting in touch with self through the lens of kindness of self and other. And that allows for the revelation of what really is at the core, to bravely be allowed to surface, allowed to thrive. That's how we manifest the ultimate, authentic timelines that promote well-being of self and others. Being. Feminines, Wheel of Fortune. We're getting this, it's coming, it's grounding, it's healed, it's landing kind of energy. So feminines, get in touch with this core. What is good for you is good for your counterpart. This is what spins the wheel when you can pinpoint this inner core motivation, intention, intrinsic knowing. That's what spins the Wheel of Fortune in your favor. We are not given things that are not beneficial for us or that cannot be received because our consciousness is not aware of them. This key to manifestation is such that when you know what your core is ready to experience, that's when it can come to you. And kindness is the lens that brings you into the most practical, grounded, beneficial, next relevant, intended thing. As soon as you know what that is, it can come. And masculines, the Fool. Okay. It's funny because I'm hearing, is it nice or is it kind? We've got the nice version of the Fool here, going towards what you think you should do. And then we've got the kind, where the conscience is clear and the leap of faith is secure. So masculines, again, we're seeing live with integrity. That means your core integrity. Here's an example. I was driving with my son and we stopped to have some people cross the road. He noticed that the child was first. And he said, isn't it funny how the shortest person was put into the road first? That might be nice, but is it kind? And that's the kind of message here. Sometimes we do things that we think are nice, but are they ultimately kind? And that is the accountability here, masculines. Listen to your inner child. Protect what you cherish. It's okay to care deeply. I'm hearing a real core one. Just because others or your assumptions say you shouldn't go forward to this love of a lifetime, to your feminine, doesn't mean that's the kindest thing. It might be nice to subscribe to those cautions, but the kindest thing is to honor the love available in these connections, regardless of what you think that nicety thing to do is. Wow. What can we see for fears? Fertility. So explore creativity, act on inspiration, thought becomes form, manifest your dreams, free your imagination. Okay, let's rewind to some of these. Explore creativity. So when we're looking at fears, if you see a creative growth path, you can get up out of the fear because you see a progressive way of moving forward. Fear is a limiting factor. If you can tap back into your creativity, your fears cannot stunt you forever. The truth can be accessed and there can be growth, fertility. Act on inspiration. When we're looking at fear, it squelches inspiration. It hinders inspiration. So when inspiration strikes, allow yourself to follow that lead. Be fearless and follow the flow of that, because that's the river of life, and that wins over fear. Thought becomes form. If you desire to outgrow fear, don't tell yourself fearful thoughts. Tell yourself well-being, authentic, kind, inspired thoughts. This is your permission to manifest your dreams. Would you like to manifest fear, limitation, lack, competition? Or would you like to manifest your dreams? And free your imagination. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. How are the feminines experiencing this? Coming out of your hermit shell with brand new ideas, innovations, modalities, joy, play, showing the world the real you, walking to the beat of your own drum harmlessly, blamelessly, causing beauty in your wake. It's time to come out of your shell, feminine, and not hold back who you really are from the world. It's safe. You're supported. You have ancestors and spirit guides and the divine and me and all of us rooting for the success this way. It's time to come out of our shell, feminine. No longer let fear hold you back from being who you truly are in the world. And masculines? Oh, 5 of Cups. Count the blessings from the past. Let go of the past. Let bygones be bygones. Know that everything, all the shortcomings, all the errors of your ways, all the stumbles, let it all be washed away, and know that it's all been so you can love more. What is the truth that we can see? Divine Feminine. Ooh. Embrace your sensitivity. If it's true for you, no truth is too small. And in fact, it's kind of ironic because the more subtle the truth is, the more of a stronghold it is or isn't in our life. Some of the most tricky energies to uproot are things that we don't think are that big of a deal, but they aren't true. And so use your sensitivity wisely in the ways that you don't think matter very much. Mastery is impeccability with regard to energetic housekeeping. And so if your intuition tells you something is off, honor that. This is divine feminine level intuition. That is the essence of the yin. The high priestess, the Queen of Cups, it's the unconditional love that is willing to look at the subtle things and to know if it's actually true or not. Express your sensuality. So this is the truth, that the feminine is meant to be a vivacious, alive, sensual, life-giving entity that is fierce and knowing and able to protect the next generations and to come together with a masculine that is worthy of the highest, the perpetuation of the species that will thrive through goodness, kindness, authenticity. The divine feminine intuition needs to be reclaimed by the divine feminines, and the worthiness, the knowing of the feminine needs to be placed back onto a seat of empowerment. It's feminine's choice. There is this beautiful honoring for you masculines that if your divine feminine has chosen you, that is a deep honor bestowed. If a divine feminine chooses you, oh, that's good. And feminines, remember, it is not whether your masculine chooses you or not. When you know who you really are, you know which masculine is compatible with you on those energetic levels that is worthy of the kind of connection that you desire to have, that you're being shown is love. Reclaim your inner sovereignty. Bring it back to first person. We all have this knowing, masculine or feminine, as to what's a fit, 3333. Cultivate and nurture beauty in the world around you. Allow growth, beauty, inspiration to be what happens when you're you being you. You are worthy of love. Believe it. It's not a scarce thing. Cultivate it, appreciate it, call it out, affirm it. Positive reinforcement. You see it anywhere, be in appreciation and gratitude for it. Grace is your power. Flow through the ever-changing moment. Look for love. Hold your own balance. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Manifest what is aligned with you. Choose wisely. Express yourself. Follow inspiration. Fall in love. Allow yourself to fall in love. What are the feminines experiencing with this? So I'm hearing masculines are awakening to those in their lives that are truly divine feminines, and they are falling in love with the divine feminine. Feminines are falling in love with the divine feminine within them. It's all in how you look at it. The divine feminine energy is taking each thought captive and understanding how to look at it through this unique first person sovereignty, and then to take or leave things that arise based on if it is in alignment with self or not. And the masculines, ooh, Two of Pentacles, yes, this beautiful balancing act. This is the lower vibrational. Clumsy. Look at you gaining your prowess, masculines. You are coming into a higher balance and starting to catch stride with it. There's a physical agility here that you are anchoring in. And I'm hearing the grand yoga. The pentacles can be the conduit of energy that is exchanged between individuals. And you're learning to balance out. This can be no longer choosing, juggling between energies, and truly also seeing the divine feminine in your life for who they really are. And then now seeing yourself as an aligned match for that, with grace and ease and flow and capacity. Beautiful. And growth. What can we see? Connection. Oh yeah, so connection is the next. This is beautiful. Break isolation. Feminines, masculines, don't isolate. These connections come in when we are in unity consciousness. Segregation, separation is isolating. Seek what brings you vitality. And so in these connections, if you're seeing death energies and suffering, that's not bringing you vitality. Seek the truth within your assessment of these connections that brings in a spark, that brings in vitality, that brings in growth, that overcomes the fear, that works around the limitation. We are all interdependent. There is a relevancy to this person being a sacred mirror in your life. Masculines, feminines, tap into that. What is the reason this person is in your life? Celebrate that, acknowledge it, affirm it. That is connective. This is the growth. We cannot deepen together until we accept the seed point of growth, the invitation, the relevancy. Why is this person energetically in my vicinity? Why is this person here? When you can pinpoint what that is for you, you can cultivate growth. Reach out for support. You can ask your counterpart to meet you in this growth edge. You can affirm this seed point of connection, and you can invite them to interact with you at that place. You are not alone. You have not manifested this as an isolated experience. Your counterpart is absolutely quantumly entangled with your growth edge. They have manifested a compatible growth edge, or they would not be the person that is meeting you at this point. What are the feminines meant to see here? You don't have to force anything. It's about alignment. Everything that you are compatible with and ready for meets you at all times. Everything that showed up in your reality is for you. It is a reflection of where you're at. If you don't like what you're getting, change where you're at. But don't force anything to compensate for where you're not at. Take a good, deep look at yourself and see what you can adjust so that your reality easily and effortlessly supports where you're at. Masculines, 9 of Pentacles, okay, in the shadow. So this can be for show. This can be for having false security. So masculines, we got this message yesterday. Don't be out there workaholism and breakneck speed trying to get ahead for money's sake, for material realm success. there is one person here looking a little bit like a maniac. And then there is this inclusive energy we saw in yesterday's reading where masculines, would you like to be rich and alone or always striving to get enough? Or would you like to share what you have already with your feminine and feel whole and abundant instead of saving it for a future time? The choice is yours. Do not isolate. It's time to break isolation and come into connection. Life is too short to focus on this. This is available right now, masculines. I am staring at one more card where this beautiful image with counterparts looking in each other's eyes, and it says intimacy. I have to read this. Practice unconditional love. Balance your inner feminine and masculine. Nurture your relationships. Let yourself be truly seen. We are all mirrors. Many blessings. Bye for now.